Okay, from beautiful Southern California, it's hot and it's dry. How hot is it? Well, take a look at this. That's the temperature outside right now. Huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
It's not as hot as yesterday.
No, that was what, 118 or something?
Yesterday was 118. Today's
Okay.
only 116.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
we're
introduce
fine.
me.
You're
so
cool.
I can start talking.
You look cool. Oh, that's right, I have to introduce you. Okay.
You're my live-in announcer.
Okay, you're
Come
right.
on.
I'm your Elizabeth announcer, cameraman,
You're everything.
toe model,
Am I everything?
manicure model,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah,
right?
chest model
Okay, I do everything. The only thing I haven't done
is what?
is your makeup.
No, you don't need to do that. I can do
Okay.
that.
But I've
I
done
don't
your,
always do it great.
but I've done your hair, haven't I?
You've done my hair.
And that great French braid?
Yeah, you do a great French.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Suzanne Summers Show, in case you didn't notice. And here she is.
Yay!
Okay, I'm going to try
everybody.
something here.
What are you going to try?
I'm sure that everyone on Facebook can hear. Fine.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
going to
don't mess
plug.
with it if it's working.
I'm going to plug this in
Yeah.
to see if it makes
Here we
any.
go.
It'd be better. Than
What,
it's
for
been
you or for me?
For you.
For me.
It should be, yeah.
Okay.
Instagram, no problem.
All right. So
Right
on
on
Facebook,
Instagram.
if you got a problem, let Big Al know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It is really hot. I don't like it. And a lot of you, I read your comments from the last show. And why are you in this room? Why I like looking at the misters and the pool, and I like being at the bar. Well, first of all, when I'm facing the pool, I can't have any air conditioning on because the doors are wide open. And then you all noticed that I looked nicer last show. You all commented. You went, wow, you look beautiful tonight. You look great. Well, that's because I can control the lighting this way. But when I'm facing that way, the backdrop light eats up all the light on my face, so my eyes go real dark, and then you say, you're wearing too much makeup. I think, no, it's the same makeup I always wear, but it's not enough light getting into my face. So that is why we're in this room. Having the 4 guys there is not ideal, but tomorrow, those 4 guys on the wall there are invited.
They're going bye-bye.
No, tomorrow, that's not the day they're going by, but tomorrow night is, no, not tomorrow,
No,
Wednesday night
Wednesday.
is Alan's birthday, and Alan and I are going to get really dressed up so that we look like the guys at the bar behind us, and I have a real special evening planned for you, Alan
Wow.
Hemmel.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can
The
hardly
sound
wait.
is good, guys. The Facebook sound is good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, hello, Caroline.
And how are you?
Good. So Caroline's in Italy,
Good.
and she'll be in Italy till around the 12th of July, and I vicariously eat through her.
The eating is good. I
Yeah.
have to say, but I can't believe it's 113. There was 100 here today. It was very, very hot.
Oh,
And
I know
it's
Flor-
like, it's thick as cheese out. It's crazy.
I know Florence very well, and I know those days when it's 90 and 100, and it's as hot there at 90 and 100 as it is hot here at 116. It's
By
just,
the way,
ugh.
have you noticed that people don't name their kids names that used to be very popular? Like Florence. You mentioned
Oh, yeah.
Florence.
But that's why I named our cats Betty and Gloria.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned names.
What happened to Gwen? Or
I never knew
Sheila?
any Gwen.
Sheila.
I knew a few Sheilas.
Or Dorothy.
Sandy.
Pardon?
But I went to Catholic school, and everybody's name was Mary. How about you, Caroline? Did you go to Catholic school? No.
I went to just preschool, and then when we came to California, I went to school in Palos Verdes.
Yeah.
Not Catholic.
Well,
All my
everybody,
siblings went to
everybody in my Catholic school was Mary. If you weren't Mary first name, your middle name was Mary or Marie. So that's why I was Suzanne Marie Mahoney. But I liked my little Catholic school, grammar school. I was happy there. And then I wasn't happy at all-girls Catholic high school. That was not fun at all. And I started liking my skirts short early on. And those uniform skirts, used to have to wear those wool, plaid, pleated skirts.
And no patent leather shoes.
And no patent leather shoes, because honestly they said that they could reflect and you could look up your skirt. And I would have my mother who probably knew better, but she knew I wouldn't wear that skirt long, because at first I was just rolling it over on the top so it would be nice and short. So she shortened my skirts. But then I got in trouble from Sister Mary Jean. And I was always getting in trouble with Sister Mary Jean. I wasn't her kind of girl. And she eventually kicked me out of Catholic school. Thank you, Sister Mary Jean. We went to a wedding at Mercy High School, which is where I went, in Burlingame, California. And Alan was with me. And we walked into the auditorium, but right to the left was Sister Mary Jean's office. And I looked there, and I remembered the day. I guess on the weekend, Sister Mary Jean, she was looking for something on me.
Well, she couldn't still have been around.
No, but it was the office that she had that I remembered. And she was looking for something on me, you know. What's that? Is it Goebbels? Find me the person, I'll find you the crime.
Joseph Stalin had a guy by the name of Beria, B-E-R-I-A, and he would say to, pardon me, Stalin, give me the name and I'll find the crime.
Yeah, well, that was sort of like Sister Jean. I didn't fit the mold. So she went through my locker one weekend, and then she went through all the books, and I was a note writer. I would write these notes to imaginary boyfriends or boyfriends that I wish for my boyfriends, and I'd write these love notes, but I never sent them. I just stick them in my books. So I'm called to Sister Mary Jean's office, and I knew it wasn't going to be good, but I'd been called there a lot. So I come down, and I already know my skirt is too short, and I walk in, and there's my mother sitting across from Sister Mary Jean, and my mother has her head in her hands like this. And I went, oh no, what did I do? And Miss Sister Mary Jean said, well, have you been having fun writing notes, Miss Mahoney? Yeah. And so she starts reading these love notes. Dear Mike, how I wish I was in your arms. Isn't that charming, Mrs. Mahoney? And then my mother would cry some more. So after she read about 10 of these notes, now I'm crying and my mother's crying. She said, you are not allowed to come back to this school, and I was expelled. So we're driving home with my mother, and my mother's crying, and I'm crying, and I'm so bad. And years later I thought, what did I do so wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. I was a teenager who wished she had a boyfriend. I didn't have a boyfriend. So anyway, so when we went to the wedding, it was one of my sister's kids who got married there. I looked over there at that office, and it all came flooding back, and that was that.
It's so interesting.
What?
I had a similar experience.
Tell me about yours, Al.
Well,
and then Caroline, you can tell us one of yours.
Okay, I went to Harvard Collegiate in Toronto, and really
is that
tough,
Harvard? H-A-V?
H-A-R-B-O-R-D.
Harvard.
Yeah, and a very tough high school, and so I go into grade 9.
Tough academically?
Academically, yeah.
Oh, well, you could handle that, couldn't you?
No, I couldn't.
Oh.
So I go into grade 9, and I hated going to school. I hated my teachers. I hated everything. And one day I'm at my locker, and you know there's locker talk when your buddy's beside you. And I mentioned one particular teacher I had, and I called her a rather rough street name.
Oh.
And she happened to be walking behind me at the time, down the hall, heard it, principal. 2 hours later, I'm called into the principal's office. My mother's in there crying, okay, because he had just finished telling her, one day your son's going to be standing in a soup line. What's that?
Well, you are, but it's my soup.
That's right.
So, Caroline, did you have any of these stories?
Well, I had one story. I was a freshman, and there was this senior boy who had a crush on me, and he was really aggressive, and he kind of scared me. And so I think we went out maybe one time, and I just could tell that he wanted something that I was not ready for.
And what was that?
He was like, yeah, he was sexually aggressive, and I was very young and innocent at the time. And I broke up with him because I didn't want to mess with it. And he took a key and he scratched into my locker, cold as ice. And then he put a snow he flipped me off.
That's
I know, the
psychopathic.
whole class saw. Yeah, it was not good.
That's psychopathic.
You know, Caroline, you should have had your dad, Tony, look after things for you. You know?
And my Uncle Vito.
Yeah.
My Uncle Vito. And, exactly.
We watched
So
the.
Dad took care of it.
We're going to do a show today on gut renew.
Okay, you know what?
Let me tell you what I'll tell you what you got, and then I want to tell you what we watched last night. It was kind of incredible. Like, wow, can't turn it off. So tell them what they're going to get, Alan.
Okay.
You all know about gut renew. If you don't, stay tuned because let me ask you a few questions. Are you bloated? Probably. Are you constipated? Are you having unexplained weight gain? Are you dog tired? Trouble sleeping? Always holding your stomach? Clothes don't look good on you? If you checked any of those, you'll be interested in today's show. We have a solution.
This is the Gut Renew 30-day challenge basic kit. 30-day supply. You get 6 bags, 60 servings, and you also get the guide, which is incredibly well done. You're going to love it. Okay? Okay, that's the basic.
Here's the guide. Here's the Gut Renew guide. It tells you, it's got all these incredible recipes in here, just incredible recipes for the smoothies. Alan and I have one of these smoothies every morning, and every morning it's different. I buy a bunch of frozen organic fruit, strawberries, blackberries,
Peaches.
blueberries, peaches, mangoes. You can get pineapple. I'm allergic to pineapple, but you can get pineapple or tropical fruit mix. Or if you buy bananas and they start turning black, instead of throwing them out, don't let them get all the way black. Take the peel off and cut them up and freeze them, because I'm going to tell you how you can use those bananas. That will be amazing. And we have one every morning. We've had one every morning. It's been over a year now. It's been about a year and a half. I have no gut issues right now. And if you talk to me 2 years ago, all I could talk about was I was constipated all the time. I was bloated. Alan, charming, would make fun of my stomach and ask when our baby's going to be born, because it felt like I had a baby in there.
I was waiting.
I would have loved to have had your baby, but this was like, if that baby was coming through me with that kind of pain, it's painful to have a bloated gut. It's a language of the body, and the language is something's not right. The body, i.e. the brain, talks to us all the time, and bloating is a language, constipation is a language, unexplained weight gain is a language, dog tired is a language. All of these things are your body's way of saying, you got to do something to fix me. You got to do something. I am a responsive entrepreneur. I listen to you. You tell me what it is you're needing, and I have access to so many of the greatest minds in the world because of the books that I write, that I'm not the doctor. I'm not the one with the information. I go right to them. What do you tell your patients about this and this and this? And if I interview a doctor in my books, I always give them full permission to have full approval over it. Not a doctor, scientist, or professional interview never goes in my book until they sign off. It's not worth it to me. I want the information to be absolutely accurate. So we got together with those in the know as what could help support these issues of bloating and constipation and unexplained weight gain and gas and dog tired and skin issues and hair issues and all that. And it's in here. It's in here, and it's all laid out back here. I counted before the show. Right here, there are over 50 ingredients, and then there's more in there. And all you do is you take 2 scoops. There's a little scooper thing in there. You take 2 scoops. You put it in your blender. You put some of your frozen fruit, because that's your ice, remember? And then I put coconut milk, I personally like to have some organic yogurt, and I also put a splash of cream because I'm not afraid of fats. But if you just follow the basic recipe, like a woman who works on my property, she just said, I just put 2 scoops in some water and mix it up, and she said it tastes good. I haven't done that, but others have just used the recipe on the back, which is some water and some wild blueberries in the 2 scoops. Well, however you want to do it. I like to go to a little more fuss in the morning because I take a lot of supplements, and when you make a thick smoothie, all the supplements go down so easily. But after I finish the smoothie, I'm kind of full. I don't really want a meal for another couple of hours. So the 30-day Gut Renew Challenge is 30 days. If you really have issues, you really want to tackle this, I would go for the 30-day. You do one of those smoothies every morning. Mid-afternoon, you do another one of those smoothies, different, but make any kind you want, and it's very filling. You won't, from the first smoothie, you won't be hungry until you have that second one. And then for dinner, you have a healthy meal, and a healthy meal is like pan-fried lamb chops that you've marinated in garlic and rosemary and our Tuscan sea salt and olive oil, and then pan fry those, and then you can have a yam, a baked baby yam, but instead of butter, put some olive oil in it and sea salt, and vegetables, spinach with garlic tossed in olive oil. That's a healthy meal. We don't, during the 30-day gut challenge, no alcohol, no dairy, none of the things that are inflammatory. Let's just get the inflammation foods out of your system for 1 month, 2 smoothies a day, a healthy meal at night. The comments that came back and keep coming back.
They're coming back right now.
Coming back. People are saying they lost weight. It's not designed as a weight loss program, but it makes sense that when all this sludge that's stuck right here, that's making you all bloated, gets released and starts pushing its way down, you're probably going to lose some weight. And I've not had success with a product like this as an entrepreneur since Alan and I did the Thigh Master, what was that, 20-something years ago. So we just ordered 72 tons of the powder. So that tells you something. What are the comments, Alan?
Well, people just love Gut Renew. Here's one from Debbie Eiselman. Really, the Gut Renew is awesome. They taste so good, and they're my daily treat, and I'm disappointed when my glass is empty.
Yeah, me too.
Isn't that great?
Me too. I feel the same way when I'm done. I'm thinking, I wish I had a little more.
So Valerie Yvonne...
Yeah, and it really, it gives you the sustenance you need, because
Yeah.
you get 20 grams
Yeah.
of organic plant-based protein per serving.
Yeah.
And it has 0 sugars, so it doesn't trigger that craving reaction.
And only
And
8
it
grams
tastes
of
good.
carbs. So you're not going to gain weight having these smoothies. You're just going to feel better.
Well, we didn't make this as a weight loss product, but I would say that most of the people who are providing us with testimonials have also lost weight.
Yeah.
And when you think about
That's
it, they're
what you're
getting
saying.
rid of all that stuff they've
Yeah.
been dragging around for
Yeah,
years.
and I think it's only 3 grams of carbs.
Is it?
Does it say 8 on there? I thought it was 3.
Oh, it's 3. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there
3
was
looks
3.
like 8, and when you're dyslexic, 3 looks like 8 anyway. But 6s look like 9s, and 9s look like 6s. You know how I learned to dance? Caroline knows, all of you out there, because I don't know my left from my right. I'm smart, but I just got this affliction. And I had to learn to dance because I was a headliner in Vegas, and we opened the show with Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy from Company B, a big tap dance number, which was so fun to do, but I couldn't get it. It would be left, left, right, right, left, right, left. I couldn't get it. I kept wrong foot, wrong foot. Finally, we painted one shoe red, and then the other was black, and the choreographer would go, red, red, black, black, red, black, red. And man, I could do it right away because I didn't have that left-right thing that I had to process. Ooh, hoo, hoo, poor me.
Process is what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what, I honestly think, let's go back to my nuns for a bit. I was left-handed, and I wanted to write with my left hand, and they said, no, you may not.
Well, there are other people saying that they also ran into mean nuns. I wonder, it can't be common.
That's
the
not
nuns at
common,
the
but if
school?
there's somebody, there are mean, teachers who aren't nuns too. But they wouldn't let me write with my left hand. They forced me to write with my right hand, and I think that did something to my brain, that it like screwed up the wiring. Anyway, I
that's
did
interesting.
okay. Yeah, don't you think?
That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
and I also can't remember numbers, and I'm not dumb. It's just that numbers, I can't remember them because sixes look like nines, and threes look like eights, and eights look like threes. And he's always giving me numbers, or how much was that? And I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know. I know for the moment when I'm paying for it.
Know that, like, they didn't do any testing on you. Like, now they do testing on
Of course
you,
they would,
so-
but back then, testing,
Yeah.
no, children weren't that important back then. Things have changed. We were
Yeah.
like little nuisances back then. But they did not do any testing, and I remember this girl in our class. I won't say her last name in case she's still alive, but Marianne would throw up every morning. Every morning it was like, there's Marianne throwing up. And when you go to a Catholic school, you're with the same 50 people every year, all through grade school. So I know everybody's family, everybody's name, everybody. And Marianne Overdyke, I didn't mean to say her name, but she threw up every morning. Sorry, Marianne, if you're watching.
You knew that it was either one or the other. Either you mention it or you don't.
Right.
So the
right.
first time around,
I
you
didn't.
hit it.
I didn't.
Okay? You
Right.
don't. Okay.
Right.
The second time around, you weren't focused on it.
No, no,
I know.
no. And I don't know why in life you remember the barfers. We know a guy down Valley here. I'll never, ever, ever say his name because he's got enough money to
Don't even say his first name.
I won't. To eliminate us. But do you know anybody who's like a bad drinker? He's a bad drinker, and he's a bad drinker that throws up.
Well,
Blech.
I know a few of those.
You do?
Yeah, a few.
There are actually, when I think of it, there are like 2 or 3 down Valley. I wonder if it's an aging thing.
I don't know. You know, when I grew up in Toronto, they had beer parlors, and they were divided into, I think, 3 sections. One was for men, one was for women, and one was for couples. And every time I'd walk by on my way to school, the smell of old beer would come out in the summertime.
I know that smell.
Okay?
Yeah.
And one day, as I'm walking past, a guy comes stumbling out of the all men's part
Uh-huh.
with a knife in his chest.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm laughing now.
Oh, I never saw anything
and
like that.
The
as a
guy was
kid.
okay. But if you put a bunch of guys together with an endless supply of beer, duh.
It's that testosterone thing in men. Women, you see men like punching the crap out of one another, and you think, God, we don't do that. Women don't do that. It's not. If we do, it's not our natural inclination.
No, you know what you do?
What do we do?
You have an extraordinary memory
Yes.
for reminding
Yes.
us,
Right, Caroline? Yes.
Okay. about things that could have happened 60 years ago.
Yes.
Okay?
I forget
And
nothing.
you regurgitate them. You have this Rolodex.
I forget
By
nothing.
the way, for the edification of those who are under 60, a Rolodex is the same as your contact list in Microsoft. Okay, Safari.
I didn't even notice that when you said Rolodex. I thought, yeah, Rolodex.
That's
And now
right,
I realized there are
Okay.
no Rolodexes
It's
anymore.
it's a thing with a bunch of cardboard
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
it sits in a thing, and you lift.
I was going through
It's kind of cool.
old photo albums today because I'm going through a lot of things here, and I found a daily calendar that I would write my notes in, and you're not going to like that I threw it out, but I threw it out. But there were names in there of people we knew way back then, like 40 years ago, that I had their phone numbers that are no longer relevant. But I kind of laughed to myself at, I had a notebook and I wrote everything down, and I that's how I knew everything.
Well, I had a little black book when we were, on the
That's
road
your girlfriend list.
in the summertime.
I'm glad I met you when I did. You got it out of your system.
No, but my black book, all it had in it were the best barbecue joints in America.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because we were on the road.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And you wouldn't come to me to one of these places,
No,
but they were great.
no, I should have.
Yeah.
That was me being arrogant, and I don't know why. I want that pasta that Bruce photographed the other night.
Did you have ribs in San Bruno?
No.
Well, there you go.
Bruce had some pasta, Caroline, that they shaved black truffles, or were they white truffles?
Black.
Oh, so good.
Was it white or black?
Unbelievable. Black truffle.
Oh,
Black. It's black.
God.
The season is black
And it
right
was
now.
like
Yeah,
they,
unreal.
it was like they couldn't put enough on there. I just wanted you to
it's
send it home through the
unbelievable.
phone. I wanted it
That
so
butter
bad.
emulsion sauce.
Oh God! I made some
But
great.
meanwhile,
Yeah,
Pardon?
what did you make?
Pardon me?
I made some
Suzanne was
great
gonna say
lemon
something that
garlic
she made.
yeah.
pasta.
That was incredible. Here, I'm going to put this up while you're talking about it.
Let's
okay?
do it again. Lemon. I want on one of our cooking shows to make my.
This is the essentials kit, okay? So it comes with the advanced probiotic intestinal renew and the prebiotic gut renew, and it's heavily discounted. There it is.
I want to do a cooking show maybe next week, and I'll make my lemon garlic pasta, and you'll love it because I use my Meyer lemon olive oil to make it, and it's good. As I look at your pasta things that you're in Pasta Land in Florence, all I can think about when I go to bed at night is what pasta could we have tomorrow? We use Alan's gluten intolerant, so you can't mess around because he can have gluten here and there and a little bit here, but if I start giving it to him every day, he will react and it's not good and he doesn't feel good and it affects his scintillating personality. But we have found this gluten-free pasta. I have nothing to do with it. I don't own the company, but I'm going to give it to you because you're my friends. It's called Andean Dream, Andean, and it's quinoa pasta. It is so good that when I have people over for a dinner party that you normally would make real pasta, I use this. No one has ever noticed. All anybody goes is it's so great, and it's not pasta. It's made from quinoa, which is technically a fruit. It's so delicious, so delicious. So that's my little gift to you.
Well,
I wish I was in that business.
Andean Dreams.
Yeah, Andean Dreams.
We'll have the most wonderful dreams after that testimonial you gave them.
They're making a great product, and
It's a
you
great
can have. I
product,
could give that
right.
to you every night,
Yeah.
and you would never
I
have
would love
any
it.
gluten action.
Yep. I'd love it.
Yeah, but I don't have truffles every night.
But you know what? That's okay. If you had them every night, you wouldn't appreciate it.
I would.
You would.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would.
But that's the thing. When you go on the 30-day challenge, it's only 30 days. You give up the gluten, you give up the dairy, you give up alcohol,
Right.
you give up sugar. It gives
Right.
you like this amazing reboot. And Suzanne has loaded this gut renew with 20 grams of organic plant-based protein, a ton of gut health nutrients. She's
Yep.
got prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes. She's got marshmallow extract in there, which helps support the gut lining. Plus immune support boosters, phyto fruits and vegetables, sea minerals. It is so loaded. And it was a very, very, very expensive product to make. And we just decided we're going to go super high end on this. And we're going to put everything in there that all of us use to help heal our guts. When Suzanne was having gut issues and Alan was having gut issues and my kids were having gut
Yeah.
issues. And I'm so happy that we didn't skip on any of those ingredients because people are getting such amazing results with it.
And she's right. Each package for us costs us a lot of money. A lot of money. Like more than any other product that we make. Well, here's Big Al.
You know,
Why, honey?
since you admitted you're not good with numbers,
I'm not.
I was grateful you didn't tell everyone how much it actually costs us.
No, because I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Well, that's good.
I know.
So,
But you'd be shocked at how much it
but
is.
that's true.
Yeah.
So you don't remember. Maybe that's why you're not good with numbers, because you don't remember them.
I don't remember them.
Well, there you go. We found a
And
solution.
when I do think I remember them, I have them backwards. Sixes or nine. It's an affliction. Like
Well,
you have an affliction. That's why you wear your glasses.
Yep.
Because when he looks into bright lights, his
turn
face
into somebody
starts
else.
spasming.
Yeah.
And I can't remember numbers. Hand me my book for a minute. We
Certainly.
finally did it. I never promote my book. I want you to read my book. I'm really proud of this book. This is my most recent book, A New Way to Age. That's all I talk. No, come back, come back, come back. You're so cute. I just wanted to hold it up for a minute. I think we should put like my books behind me where the four guys are.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Right. This is wow. Is this
Okay.
this is such a successful book around the world.
And this is
Around the world. This is the paperback. It's in paperback now.
so you can probably get it for $1.50.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
But it's
know.
going to be. It's
I don't
going
know
to be
numbers.
very inexpensive
Yeah.
compared to
It's
the
a great
hardcover.
book, Suzanne.
Thank you. I'm really
It's a
proud of. I'm proud of all my
unbelievably
books.
good book.
I'm proud of all my
Yeah.
books, but it's always the most recent one where you get more and more and more enlightened. And it's like I started writing, I was telling Bruce today, your husband, my son, that I started writing a book last week because we had Computer Guy over, and Alan didn't want Computer Guy to be distracted, and he wanted just to like really have computer lessons. So I was kind of stuck in my office, and I sat down in front of my computer, which normally I'm doing this, but I sat down actually in front of my computer, and I opened Word, and I opened a new file, a new program, or a folder. I don't even know what that is. I'm so out of it. And all of a sudden, I went to big capital letters, and all of a sudden I wrote the title. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there was the title that I had never thought of until that moment. And I told Alan about it this morning. He goes, "Whoa, that's a good title." And I was telling Bruce, and he went, And then my fingers started doing this thing that happens. I always call it automatic writing, and I wrote 2 chapters with. I haven't even reread it. I don't even know what I said, but I know when whoever's working through me, I don't even think it's me. Whoever that is right on. It's going to be another bestseller. Yeah, it is amazing. Almost, that's what happened to me. My book, Keeping Secrets, which was a phenomenal success. And Keeping Secrets was the secret I kept about the alcoholism in our family. And Alan and I were on a trip to New Mexico, which we loved there. And we had gone out to the Anasazi ruins. And that's where all the cliff dwellings are. And it's just, if you haven't been to New Mexico, go to New Mexico. The food in Santa Fe is, it's as good or better than anything you're going to find in these villages in Europe, which we all think, why don't we have that food in America?
Order the sopapillas.
Sopapillas, or go to Santa Cafe, or go to Geronimo. These are amazing restaurants in Santa Fe. And then we drove out to these Anasazi ruins, and Alan goes exploring, but I found a ledge and a cave. And I don't know why, I was attracted to it. And I look inside the cave, and you can see where the fire pit was, and you could see that people probably slept around this fire, and it had kind of a window carved out of it and kind of a door carved out of it, and then a ledge. And I sat on that ledge all morning while he was rummaging around in the ruins, looking out at an unchanged vista, probably for the last 2,000 or 3,000 years.
No, probably forever.
Probably forever.
Billions.
What is forever?
Billions.
And that night, I wake up in our hotel room, and I sit up, and I lean down, and I don't even know why I had a yellow legal tablet. I pick up the yellow legal tablet, pick up a pen, and I start writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock, Alan woke up and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I don't know." And I read it back to him, and I sobbed. And that verbatim, that is the first
Word for word.
60 pages, word for word, of Keeping Secrets. And I released the secret. You know, those of us, in AA, they always say you're as sick as your secrets. I released the secret to myself. I allowed myself to remember and to look at it, and then I didn't stop for like a year. All I did was write longhand. One of the sad things about our fire in Malibu is that I had over 1,000.
Suzanne, I'm so sorry. I have to interrupt you for 1 second.
Sure.
Alan, Instagram paused. So if Alan, if you can go back to the other side of the camera
Okay.
while Suzanne finishes the story.
Well, let me put on
Thank
my,
you, Caroline, and I'm
my
almost finished.
technical hat.
Yeah. Anyway, isn't that interesting? Is that automatic writing or whatever? I've always felt guilty taking credit for my books because it always feels like something's working through me. But when I finish a book, I know it's going to help you because it helped me. I always know that. I feel so proud of what I put out there. So if you are interested in the fact that there is a new way to age, I'm sure on my website you can get that book, and it's kind of life-changing. There's so much information in there. That's where I write about Senolytics, which we are now selling as a supplement, because Senolytics, I want to go through all this. I digress. I have so much to talk to you about. Senolytics there are 2 capsules you take once a week. We take ours every Friday, and we sell it on our website. And so if we're all a bunch of cells, you and me and Alan and Caroline, we're all a bunch of cells, anywhere from 45 to 70 trillion cells, depending where you get the research, and it's all over the place. And I think, well, who's right?
And how big you are.
Yeah. So maybe it's 45 trillion cells, or maybe it's 70 trillion. It's a lot of cells. I can't count that high. Every cell communicates with every other cell. We are a bunch of cells talking. Hormones talk to one another. Cells communicate all the time. And so the healthier your cells, the healthier you are. Cells in your gut. If your cells in your gut are not screwed up with all the chemicals that are bombarding us in today's environment, they give all the right messages to the other cells in the gut. But most people have screwed up cells in their gut as well as screwed up cells in their brain, everything. So if we're a bunch of cells, in the middle of each cell is the mitochondria. That's your energy. And as we get older, we lose the energy in the middle of our cell. You know why? Because we're losing CoQ10. CoQ10 is like the ripcord for the mitochondria to give you energy. That's why you see old people, or think Artie Johnson, that character used to play, coming across leaning over. That's because you have no energy. So CoQ10 is the helper with that. But Senolytics, so when the bad guys come in, and they're the bad guys that get in your gut, that screw up your gut, the bad guys that get in your brain, that make your brain shrink. Remember the poor little brain shrinking over here. And when those are free radicals that come in, and what we need to combat this is antioxidants. But when you have free radicals that have attacked your cells, which are chemicals, guess what? This healthy cell, with its CoQ10 and with its mitochondria and all its energy, collapses and malfunctions and breaks down. Now you have less healthy cells. If you keep on with bad lifestyle and dietary habits, more breakdown, more breakdown, more breakdown, more breakdown. But Senolytics, these 2 capsules that you take every week, come
That's
in.
the same time I get my testosterone shot.
I give him everything Friday. Friday's
Yeah.
good now. It used to be Tuesday, now it's Friday. Think of Senolytics, these 2 capsules you take every week. It's about, I don't know how much. I think it's really cheap, like $8. I don't know. It's not expensive. Think of Senolytics as the broom. You got all this debris from all these broken cells and broken cells. Now all this crap is lying around in your body. Senolytics comes in, the good little housekeeper, and sweeps it all away and gets all the debris out of there. Okay, I know this is Suzanne speak, but I have to speak in visuals. You understand what I just said, isn't it? It's like, well, I would like that. I'd like somebody to come in and house clean my cells out of there and get all the crap out and get it into my digestive tract so that I poop it out.
If we could get those dead cells from you, we could sell them on eBay, a cell at a time.
The other thing that we sell is NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Impressed, I know.
Now you know what our pillow talk is like.
It's NAD. You know what NAD does? It repairs DNA damage. But when the damage is done and collapses, Senolytics sweeps it away. I'm not even selling that today, but you can go to the website. If you got gut issues, now I love to talk about this stuff. I had radiation, and
It's actually NAD that we sell, Suzanne. The NAD is the one that we're not allowed to sell.
we're not allowed to sell NAD. Find it.
No. But you wrote about it in your book,
Yeah.
and they have it at Life Extension.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those proprietary supplements that, for whatever
I I forgot about that. I thought we were selling it. So go to Life Extension.
Yeah, you wanted to. We tried.
Yeah.
We tried.
Go to Life Extension, order NAD, but go to our website and get this Senolytics. Okay.
And
now,
tell them Suzanne Summers sent you, and they'll charge you
Susie
more.
sent you.
Yeah.
So now you got gut issues. You're having a smoothie every morning. If you're like me, I had radiation. Radiation is the gift that keeps on giving, and it inhibits, as I know, my body's ability. My body. I'm not talking about your body. To manufacture hydrochloric acid for life. So after I had radiation, I was so chronically in pain. And so then they gave me prescription drugs to take the pain away, but it didn't fix it. It just took the pain away momentarily, but it didn't fix it. When I interviewed a number of doctors, but in particular Dr. Jonathan Wright, who's always right, W-R-I-G-H-T. Look him up in many of my books. He's one of my... I have several go-to doctors. I'll give you their names. He said, well, what you have to do is replace the acid that has been killed off by the radiation or age. So a lot of, our gut issues are we're not getting all these things that are in this Gut Renewed to support a healthy barrier wall, but also your stomach, which is over here under this breast, is not making hydrochloric acid. So what I've had to do, because my damage was so great, was take hydrochloric acid, HCl. This is called betaine HCl with pepsin. It can't get any better than this. That's exactly what Dr. Wright told me to do. This is it. I did it for you. It is, I give it to Alan because his gluten stuff, and I give you 4 with every meal because his gluten intolerance really messed things up in his gut. But start with 1 and see if that works. Dr. Wright always says, if you think you can handle 2, handle 2. And take them until it burns. When it burns, that's you've hit your tolerance point. But start with 1. Just start with 1. Okay, so hydrochloric acid with pepsin. That's going to help you a lot with the Gut Renew. Digestive Renew, you take the hydrochloric acid with your meal, all right? And then at the end of your meal, you take a Digestive Renew, and that's your digestive enzymes. You make digestive enzymes in your gut, but with aging, as my book, A New Way to Age, will tell you, aging is about worn out parts. Your parts are worn out, and it's not remembering to make, I knew I had to do something. I should have made digestive enzymes for you. You know what, though? I'm so tired. Why don't you take them like this? It's kind of what happens in our bodies. That's what aging is. Aging is worn out parts. I'm reactivating your parts for you. Okay, at night, this is our little treat at night. You'd think we had more of a treat at night than that, me and Al, but Al takes a spoonful of this in each cup, adds some warm water, it fizzes up, it makes this lemon kind of fizzy tea. It's called Gentle Cold and Renew, loaded with magnesium. Dr. Russell Blaylock, who I've interviewed so many times, who's a renowned neuroscientist, said most everyone is magnesium depleted, and there are so many hundreds of functions that magnesium does in our body that when you're low, you're going to notice that your body's not working at optimum. Aging is about worn out parts, but you won't know what it is. Start taking this. This is a great way to get your magnesium. And what's the other thing in here? Vitamin B, the vitamin Bs. And magnesium, and I don't have my glasses on.
And also there's taking an Epsom salt bath.
It's mostly magnesium and vitamin C.
Magnesium, vitamin C. How can you go wrong with magnesium and vitamin C? And it's gentle, and it's like this warm cup of fizzy lemon tea. And then a couple of times a week, me and Big Al take a bath together. I put 3.5 cups of Epsom salts, which is primarily magnesium. Then I take some of our coconut oil. That stuff is so great. And I put a couple of droppers in the tub, and then we get in and we soak up to here. And we both usually fall asleep in the tub. In the early days, we didn't fall asleep, Al. Now we fall asleep in the tub.
But also in the early days, I didn't feel awkward about being naked with you in the bathtub. I just,
Do you now?
I just don't want to be laughed at, you know?
Hardly.
I don't want any
This isn't
big
even
guffaws as
See,
I'm getting into the tub.
You're so beautiful. And so we take this Epsom salt bath, and you'll sleep better than you've ever slept. And in the morning, you're going to have a great poop. I can't say it any clearer than that.
That's pretty
Okay,
good.
I got a couple of things more to talk to you about that support your gut renew. Is our advanced probiotic. The reason we call it advanced is I think this is one of our most profound products. See, can you see this? Can you show them this, Alan? Hold it in front of them.
Okay. It's
This
all
is
good.
our probiotic.
While she's setting that up for you, some of you are asking where you can get these details. The details are all at SuzanneSummers.com on the Gut Renew landing page. There's a little synopsis about each one of these supplements that she's telling you, so if you're getting confused about which one's which,
Sorry.
please go to that SuzanneSummers.com page, and it's all laid out there for you if you're having a hard time following. Go ahead.
The reason I'm having him show you this capsule is you can see that, like, the bottom half looks kind of clear. That's called dual encapsulation. And that means we know that when the probiotic gets into your stomach, remember, it's got to come down your esophagus, and it's got to then get through the gastric sphincter, which a lot of times is all scarred from a lot of gut problems. Then it makes a left-hand turn into the stomach. It gets into the stomach, and then the hydrochloric acid, if you're still making it, goes in there to digest everything. But most of us at my age, and from late 50s on, you stop making sufficient hydrochloric acid, or if you've had radiation like me, and the probiotic kind of gets burned up in the stomach. It never even makes it to the small intestine. But because of this dual encapsulation, what gets eaten up is the clear part of it, while the little probiotic guys go bye, and they take a right-hand turn into, see, this is where I know right and left, into the small intestine, which is where they want to be, and then they go, yeah, okay, now I'm in the small intestine, and I'm just going to kind of meet up with the bad guys. I'm one of the good guys, and we'll have a shootout at the old corral. And now your gut's starting to feel real good because you're rebalancing your microbiome, and that is what nature wanted our GI tracts to be. It never used to be like this. It wasn't in your parents' time, in their parents' time. We have so messed with the environment. That's what happened. Now there's one last thing here, which is the prebiotic. I'm so glad because I'm almost out upstairs. Alan loves this. I give this to him every night. And every morning. Where's my candy? Candy. And prebiotic is essentially food for the probiotic. In other words, the prebiotic makes your probiotic work better. Okay? This is a great, I don't know if you can afford all this. If you got gut issues, start with your bag. But if you can get the whole thing, and you really want to tackle your gut thing, this is in the biggest picture, inexpensive.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is our third kit. This is the transformation kit. You get the usual, the bags, the 30-day challenge, etc. Plus, you get the prebiotic gut renew, you get the probiotic intestinal renew, and you get the gentle colon renew.
Yay.
And this is our biggest
fizzy
discount of all. This is already discounted. It's a great deal, and that's it. Suzanne Summers.
And you guys, if you look on the website, we give you some clues to know what you might want to add to the gut renew. If you can jump in and get the gut renew, the basic kit, and get 2 smoothies a day, Suzanne has already put a number of gut health nutrients and immune support ingredients in there. So if you can at least get that, it gives you a great baseline. But you've heard Suzanne how many times say that the probiotic is the most important supplement you can take.
Yeah.
Most of us need a little more turning around in that balance of the microbiome. You need more of those good flora than bad flora. And that's why she really recommends you take a probiotic. And the one that she has made here and the one that she believes in helps those live probiotics to survive that journey so that they can make it to the intestine to do their work. And again, it's why people have such good success with Suzanne's probiotics. So we hope you'll at least get the probiotic and the prebiotic, which helps that probiotic work better. And then if you have occasional constipation and you want to add that gentle colon renew, that's the big kit. It's the biggest discount on the retail value. And then, Suzanne also has that digestive enzyme and the hydrochloric acid, which, again, if you get gas or bloating right after you eat, that might be an indicator that you need a little more help with breaking down that food from the beginning, and that's where she provides the betaine HCl, which is the hydrochloric acid, or the digestive enzyme, and that helps support healthy digestion.
And everything Caroline just said used to happen normally and naturally in your body when your body was running perfectly. But, like my book says, aging is about worn out parts. And so why give up? Why go, well, I'm getting older and things aren't working as well as they used to? Well, they can. That's my message. They can. You just have to, it takes a little effort. But some people say to me, it's a lot of work to take all this stuff. And I go, yeah, it's a lot more work to be sick. So that's the message. That's the brand. I am so proud of the products we bring to you. I love our shows. I can feel that you're interested, and that makes me so happy. I didn't know this was going to be my passion. I had never entertained doing what I do now, but life is a flow, like Dr. Bernard Jensen used to say in the early days when I was starting to get interested in this. Life's a flow, it flows through you and out of you, and it's just a big circle, and there's a journey in life. And what I realize about the journey in life is you reach a point where you're on a trajectory, and then it starts to kind of wane. And I am old enough now to recognize, time to go in another direction. And I've done that all my career and trusted it, and I follow it, and it takes me to the right place. And here, this place is here where I never envisioned, and I never would have had the arrogance to think that I could be teaching you, but I love teaching you because I've learned so much writing all these books and spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of hours interviewing these doctors, and it's just been one of the privileges of my life. My anti-aging doctor is Dr. Gallitzer, Michael Gallitzer in Santa Monica. Caroline and Bruce go to Dr. Allen, who wrote he's in Beverly Hills, I believe. He wrote the foreword to one of my books. Dr. Jonathan
Santa
Wright.
Monica too, actually.
Is he? Okay. Dr. Jonathan Wright is up in Seattle, WRIGHT. Tukwila. That's a hard one to remember. Dr. Terry Hertog is in Belgium, and he's one of the most phenomenal doctors in the world. And I am so fortunate to be in constant contact with him. He teaches me so much. So the doctors that I interview, some of them I interview again and again, because every time I go to them, I say, what do you got that's new? And they've got it. And my book, can you just hand me my book over here, Alan?
Certainly.
I don't usually push my book, but I just realized now that it's out in paperback that I need to talk to you about it a little bit. The doctors who are in this book are stellar. These are the good guys. And what I love about these doctors is when you go into alternative medicine, there's no money in it. It's a lot more money being a regular doctor, but their passion made them do it, and they don't care about the money. They don't care. Now, when you go to them, you go, don't care. Their office visits are often considerably pricey from what we're used to because insurance doesn't pay for it. But you're going to get so much out of it. And with one of these doctors, you go once, and then the rest is phone calls and emails. You go once. So
Suzanne.
Yes, darling.
Would you mind holding that book up without your both hands being over the title?
Oh, sorry, not good.
Yeah.
I used to be a prize model.
Well, you tried.
No, it's
You
good.
tried.
Yeah, I got fired.
You failed.
Okay, can you see
Thank
it?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very nice.
Yes.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and also I wanted to also mention, some of you have noticed that the size of the scoop has changed
Yes.
in Gut Renew. And the reason it changed, the first scoop we had in lot of people were saying they had extra gut renew left. So we increased the size of the scoop a little bit, which seems to be a more natural way to get the full weight amount for the serving. It's 10 servings per bag regardless. But yeah, the scoop is a little bigger.
And I always tend to like heaping spoons full, so I've probably been doing it on my own. Anyway,
Yeah.
another wonderful hour with you. I can smell our dinner is ready downstairs, and I'm excited about it. And Wednesday night, 5 o'clock California time, bring your tequila and let's celebrate Al's birthday with me,
What
okay?
will my surprise be?
Oh, you're gonna
Can't
love.
wait.
You are gonna love what I have for you.
Wow.
You're gonna love it, and you're not gonna expect it, and you're gonna love it.
Are we going to be
You
wearing
guys want to get
clothes?
dressed up?
Well, I'm getting dressed. I'm wearing a gown, and he's wearing
Wow.
a tuxedo.
Wow.
And we're going to get all dressed up for Al's birthday because you know you're only 85 once. And has any 85-year-old ever looked better than Al? Maybe your father. Not better, but as good.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
look great, Alan. You look amazing.
Yeah.
You know, thank you. You know, I have a tuxedo that was designed by Richard Tyler.
Yes. Great design.
And most of my suits and things I've had, altered because the pants look baggy, and I didn't like the pleats in the front and all. I didn't touch that tuxedo
No.
because I know
So are
that
you going to wear that, Toronto, Wednesday night?
I may wear it. I
Okay,
may wear it
all right.
on Wednesday night.
Okay. And then
He-
will you
he
dance
is
with
one
me?
of the world's great designers.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. We'll see you Wednesday night for Big Al's birthday party. Don't miss it. It'll be worth it.